first sweep. That's no easy feat at all.
I mean, that's kind of that family environment, right? We talked about the fact that 2 of the guys on Tribe Gaming are brothers. They are related, so we'll see if that kind of a blood bond between them gives them the synergy they need to take this team down. Of course, Micshe added to the lineup for this season as a carry, originally with Echo Fox in the spring, but now bringing his skills over to the Tribe team. I'm excited to see these guys play.
All right, well, we're going to see him real shortly here as we bring Tribe Gaming onto the stage. This is a team that recently acquired this old lineup, and they have been, you know, having some fun times in the Vainglory 8, moving into Challengers most recently, but definitely want to make their way back up.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to a team, when you're trying to figure out what does your roster need to look like, who's your carry going to be, what is your core going to be for this season, a lot of experimentation going on, but a team as solid as Rox Armada on the other side, Tribe, definitely an uphill battle to take a victory here.
This would be massive for them if they can as well, because can you imagine being the first team to take down this new Rox Armada lineup and doing it when, you know, it's setting the pace for your summer season, right? That would be a huge morale boost, I can only imagine, for Tribe Gaming.
I mean, Tribe originally climbed into the VGA, and unfortunately they did get knocked back to Challengers, but now as they look to climb again, this is how you start summer, right here on stage. Get a taste of what live is as you prepare for Summer Unified. So I know they're hungry. I know they want it.
Oh, absolutely. And these players, you know, have all been on very successful teams in the past as well. Micshe wasn't originally on the lineup that we talked about before. He was actually on Team Solomid when they managed to pick up their championship win a while back too, though. So he does have that experience under his belt. He's a new addition to the roster. So it'll be interesting to see, like, how does he play with these guys.
And perhaps something to note was that Micshe actually played in the VIPL back then as well. So he is one of the few players that have taken a victory over a Korean team. So they might rely on him to do that.
All right, well, let's actually have a word with Status real quick to talk about his championship win before.
We won the first ever championship in North America, and obviously it felt good, and we would want to redo something like that at this tournament as well. Given that we do have Rox Armada in this tournament, and I had previously lost to them in the World Championship, the previous one. So it's kind of a chance to redeem myself as well. And we've been prepping. I know they've probably been prepping to have a new roam for the team. And basically just, it would mean a lot if we could win again. Like, we always love being on top.
All right, you heard it from them. They always love being on top. Maybe they can make it happen this time around. They do have more information, at least, to work on than Rox does right now. You know, they know, for example, that Rox played Baron in Game 1, and that might be a little bit surprising just in terms of their play style. You know, I do think Druid is able to play anything, so you can't really rule anything out. But in terms of a play style situation, Tempo Storm, they were able to take 2 of those Elder Treants. Maybe if Tribe takes all 3, they've got enough of an early game advantage to make this happen.
I mean, I guess you do have to find your advantages where you can. I mean, perhaps even more surprising was the fact that Rox actually picked up Baron first. So talking about flexing your muscles and confidence going into a tournament, that's not something I've often seen, and especially in North America, Glaive would always have been the priority. Like, we just see the clash of metas. Even though they're similar in nature, they're still quite different, and a lot of learning to be done.
Absolutely, and again, we're on 2.5 for those of you that follow Vainglory. It's not the live patch. We're still on the tournament one that we use a patch back. So these teams do know what to expect in that sense. All the heroes are well known to them. There's nothing new in that way. We are into the draft, though, so let's find out what they're going to be picking up as Rox Armada are on the blue side, banning away Grumpjaw yet again.
Yeah, I mean, this probably will be the single A-side ban for them every time they enter into the game. It just, Grumpjaw causes so much havoc and mayhem. He's great in the early game. His utility from his stuffed ultimate to be able to take someone out of the equation is great all game long once he hits level 6. So I like this ban. Of course, Tribe changing things up, not taking the Ringo. We did question that. We're a little bit curious about the Ringo ban coming from Tempo Storm earlier. I'd much rather the Lyra ban come through, but there we go again. Baron, first pick from Rox.
Rox Armada is not afraid to pick this up early, and this is something which we've seen in the past, teams able to punish. Now, whether or not they can punish Druid's Baron is a very different question. He certainly is a player that knows how to just play very safely and farm up. We saw yet last game, 200+ farm in 17 minutes. That's not easy to do. Tribe Gaming, they go for that Glaive you were talking about, though.
Yeah, I think this is really important. You don't have to first pick the Vox. If Baron shows up on the other side, they're most likely not going to take that carry away from you. They do get rid of the Taka. Remember, we talked about this. What can get to the back line? What can dive onto the Baron? Rox respecting the Taka pick, saying we don't want anything from Tribe. Glaive Taka, that's kind of nightmare scenario for a Baron pick. But Tribe, they are known for their Glaive. So this is probably going to go on Status now that we see the Ardan pickup. Status was one of the most popular, if not the Glaive player for so long, so I'm excited to see him pull this out.
I really like seeing the Ardan as well. Back when I started Vainglory, actually, the meta was really about Glaive plus Ardan and using that Ardan to catapult the Glaive into perfect position for ganks in the lane. We might see that again here, as Druid on that Baron is a little bit vulnerable to those kinds of plays.
Yeah, the thing, though, about Baron and Druid does max his jump jets, so once he hits level 8, he does have that kind of invulnerability to stuns, if you will, being able to get out of the Gauntlet, potentially mechanically able to get out of afterburn punts as well. I'm just kind of lingering, not wanting to say anything, but I see the Koshka, I see it out of the corner of my eye. It's such a big pickup here for Rox. Mango Koshka, oh my goodness. This guy defined at Worlds what Koshka was meant to be, how she could be played.
We're in for a treat.
Finn, though, coming through, that's actually very different stylistically from Rox. Finn is not something I think I've ever seen them play in competitive, and I feel like this is a little weird with the Koshka pick, but that just shows the confidence they have in Mango to be able to get in and get out without Finn being able to follow up.
It also shows maybe Engineeus is bringing some of his ingenuity to the team, right? Like he's picking up something which I don't think we ever would have seen from Willie, for example, when they had him on his roster, and certainly it doesn't sound like the kind of thing that Rox would play either. So how far can Rox Armada go? Guys, share your thoughts on Twitter with the hashtag VGMobileMasters. With a composition like this, I think it might be a bit of a head scratcher for a lot of you guys, because that Finn is definitely interesting.
I mean, the Baron first pick perhaps was a bit of a head scratcher too, but like, you got to trust in these guys. You got to know that they know what they're doing. I like the synergy that Baron and Finn have once mid and late game come together. It's going to be very difficult for Glaive to actually have a significant impact if Tribe doesn't get that early lead.
It's a very good point. Tribe, though, they do have some tools at their disposal which are quite powerful. We've talked about the Glaive and the Ardan, obviously, but compositionally they do have maybe a bit of an edge in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, this is true. I mean, the edge has to come with their confidence as well. The rotations actually from Tempo Storm early game were quite positive. We were actually pretty excited to see how much they were controlling the Elder, how much their early rotation even netted them some early jungle. Tribe can copy some of that. They could see that with this Baron pick, there is a little weakness in those first couple of minutes. Druid doesn't have the effectiveness of rotation, so they don't have the poke, though. They are looking for afterburns. They're looking for this kind of punt kickback on Baron.
All right, game number 2 kicking off right now. We've got Rox Armada versus Tribe Gaming. Rox Armada, they're already feeling good. They've taken 1 win. They've taken $3,000 home at the bare minimum. But Tribe Gaming, I'm sure they'd like a piece of that pie, trying to make something happen against our former world champions.
We're not going to see an invade this game, partially just because Vox not the strongest on that early game invade, and of course, not a lot of kill potential from the Glaive diving in as well, so a much more passive start coming out of Tribe here than we saw in Tempo, but Rox likes this. You're going to see Koshka clear her backs, most likely clear her mid now, and then look for either a gank or potentially just going straight in and trying to steal. Engineeus, he's been chilling in a bush over here for quite some time. Looking for a steal here.
This seems quite bold.
He gets it.
Gonna find the steal, though. Now he just needs to get out of here. See Mango trying to back him up, but with the speed up onto Status, this could be really difficult. We've got Druid nearby as well. He's waiting in the wings. That is going to be a quibble before he goes down. E36 needs to be careful. A kill comes out of Mango. He wants more. Status is trying to turn. Micshe does have some good damage here as well, but Druid is the real man walking in here with so much work able to be done. He just needs to go in, find one more attack. Oh no! Mango dives forward, but goes down in the process. Tribe Gaming actually coming out on top in our first fight against Rox Armada here.
Yeah, I actually like the fact that Engineeus picked up that Treant, but he did go to the right. He decided a little late to come back towards Koshka. I think that was a bit of a mistake. Would have given Koshka more uptime damage-wise on that Tribe team. But once again, Druid, he just can't rotate as fast as Micshe can on this box. So really important for Rox, but they're kind of testing, right? With the they invade with the Finn. They're like, I mean, this is them really testing, can Tribe hold us off with this pick? And so far, Tribe says yes, but we're still very early.
I also question Mango's decision to try and jump onto Micshe at the end of that fight, rather than just jumping onto Status and helping Druid find that kill for sure and maybe trading. It did seem a little bit greedy, perhaps, from Mango, but overall, this was not totally disastrous for Rox Armada. They did get a camp, and the gold is still pretty even between the two teams.
Yeah, I mean, when we see those kind of split-second decisions, they definitely have to be on the same pace. Status, of course, looking for a pick opportunity. One of the benefits... Oh, well, walking straight up.
This could be bad. He's got to jump jets out of here. He's taking so much damage, though. Micshe, he wants him, but it's not quite going to be enough. Polite Company, of course, does a lot of work at keeping Druid alive there as well. He is able to keep his edge here.
So something very, very, very critical to note is that because Koshka was able, they went for a gank attempt, they did not get the kill. Koshka has now went to the backs, cleared their jungle. This is going to give her a significant experience advantage. This is actually incredibly bad for Tribe. If they just now notice their backs are gone too, they might look for a little bit of an invade here, trying to figure out what they can take. Also got the Elder, Mango on the way to their backs, so
wow.
So much confidence for Druid to be able to get out. Most teams would have called up their jungler at that point, been like, hey, Mango, come up, we need help, I think we're getting ganked. But they said, no, Mango, we're okay, we're gonna survive, invade, get the camp, and now Mango's gonna get another Elder before this shop spawns.
And this is especially massive on Koshka because that is a hero that has one of the strongest level 6 spikes in the game. Yummy Cat Frenzy, Koshka's ultimate, is extremely powerful at locking people down, and that's exactly what you want to do with the Baron. You want to have just a target to hit freely.
I mean, level 5 Koshka, we have a level 3 Ardan. Koshka will hit 6 at this pacing, which leaves Status at 4. 2 level advantage. Not only is detrimental, but when it's on Mango too.
Micshe, that was a little bit bold, buddy. He's going to be going down to Druid there. Finds the kill with the fadeaway rocket. Rox Armada, I mean, this is... They find these small advantages, and they really just keep on mounting them through the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much about figuring out what you can accomplish in a window and just using your wisdom of what's going on in the map to maximize it. The invade from Koshka there was brilliant. He's going to hit level 6 after these backs, so Mango's probably going to be looking for a bit more of a gank opportunity. They just killed Miko, and if you notice, this is going to put Miko behind a little bit on that farm. Like you said, Jackson, like, Miko really had no reason to be there. Like, his team wasn't even around. Ardan just ported home. Status was clearing his jungle, so a little bit greedy there, just giving Druid some money in the pocket.
Yeah, I mean, this could be part of the fact that Micshe did join Tribe very recently. He might need a little bit more time to just warm up and acclimate to the team environment and get used to playing with the brothers in the jungle. But they have opportunities to keep on making this game work. They're not super far behind, and of course, Vox is a hero that's excellent on 2.5, can really get out of control.
Absolutely, and we do see the Star Blade now being picked up once again for Druid, 40 seconds later than in the last game, but not going to harp too much on that. Just looking for opportunities to maximize his efficiency here. Once again, Koshka level 6. Miko in not a good spot right now. Need to be careful there.
Absolutely, and Druid, you can see already starting to do some good damage. It's not quite as crazy as it got last game, but he chunks down Status a decent amount. You got to ask yourself, how many games does it take until Baron gets banned if Rox Armada keeps this up? They're certainly looking like they might be able to here.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure from Baron is obviously immense, but something we also have to continue to hit on is just the efficiency of his team.
Oh boy.
E36.
Very good stun on the E36. The Vanguard just barely gets him out though, and Status actually wants more. Druid, the fountain just coming through before he jump jets away. He's going to be able to back out of there. Status does not have another afterburn for 10 more seconds. Should be enough time for Rox Armada to get to safety.
So they actually used Yummy Catnip Frenzy from Mango on E36 there, so really good job holding his fountain. As Engineeus comes up here, Tribe looking to keep them from being able to get into this choke, but once again, Rox played it safely. We saw them do this last game too.
Status looking for Mango is kind of difficult to really set up that kill with Mango as he's going to react quickly. He's back out. Stop Status from knocking him the wrong direction. Status does want to contest the jungle camp, though. I believe it went the way of Rox Armada. Mango, this guy just keeps getting the last hits on jungle camps. He just shouldn't be.
I really don't like the infusion use either from Glaive. He used it at level 5. He's got a massive level disadvantage against Mango, so even with the infusion purchase, I think you hold it a little longer. Perhaps they thought they were going to get the kill in lane there, but you can't pick up kills even with an infusion against someone who's much higher level. Status really needs to be focusing on damaging Baron because that's the closest discrepancy he has in experience. Can't really focus Finn. Finn's pretty hard to kill right now. Not a lot of damage ramp up, but something of note as well is that Vox is going Crystal Power, so he's going to be looking for opportunities to splash those Resonance bounces off of Finn in these late-game team fights. So a little bit of a different take on Vox builds than normal.
Oh man, that Ion Cannon doing some serious work on a Micshe. I think we got to talk about that Crystal build as well, because really you do not expect to see Voxes go Crystal right now, especially on the patch with Poison Shift, which is really what made Vox so good on Update 2.5. It seems weird to go that direction, but they want status to be doing damage rather than maybe that cooldown build we sometimes see.
Yeah, gotta question the back timing there, though, from Micshe. They do expose a very low turret, but obviously looking to fight now after that. But gonna have to back up, just not at the right rotation speed to be able to get back into the match. But this is something that teams can do when Finn does come onto the fold, just because Finn has a very difficult time moving away from Vox. So he just keeps hitting Finn, keeps splash, splash, splash. The only other player to really do this in North America is Irwin, who kind of showcased how efficient CP Vox can be into a Finn pick. But we'll have to see if Rox has even had any practice against this.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not something I think many people played, as we mentioned, on 2.5, so maybe Rox doesn't have quite as much knowledge of the pick. I think it's unlikely, though, because honestly, Crystal Vox, at least in your solo queue games, is going to be seen sometimes just because it's so fun, even if it's not particularly strong on this update. Mango, though, is doing some serious damage, just walking up and getting some basic attacks onto E36. Great Crucible stops that Force to Cord from coming through, though.
Yeah, blocking Force to Cord there, very important. Mango looking for more and more damage, not afraid to put out some chunk damage on the captain there. I like that. I think sometimes people get a little too tunnel visioned into just doing damage to the carry, not enough to the captain, but they are going to look to maybe contest. No contest there. Tribe's saying, you know what, just let him have it. We're not too far behind in gold right now. We'll go ahead and concede the gold mine. E36 going back and picking up some new items here before he comes back on the fold. Lots of vision priorities coming from both of these teams as well today.
So, seeing as we don't actually see this Crystal Box very frequently, I do think we should talk about it a little bit and what we expect to see is like the power spikes and how we're going to get there. Micshe as well is notable, 77 to 103 creeps right now. So he's spiking later, and Crystal Box kind of needs a couple of items.
Yeah, he definitely does. I mean, you're going to be seeing, it looks like Micshe going probably for a Shatter Glass here, and then most likely Broken Myth after that. But the power spike from the Crystal Power Vox is a little bit unique in the essence that you spike on power based upon how long you can remain in the team fight, because the resonance damage just continues to add up, and other teams often don't pick up a lot of crystal shielding. And you notice, like, Mango doesn't have any shield, Druid doesn't have any shield, so a lot of work could be done. Force Accord lands.
That Crucible not going to pan out there. E36 taking a lot of damage, and you can see Status has to move up and just knock Mango away before things get out of hand. In that sense, though, you know, returning to the point before, I wonder if maybe picking up a Crystal Vox against a Baron is just a kind of a dicey thing to do, because at the moment Baron gets a couple attacks onto you, you can't stay in the fight and ramp up. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I think strategically, it's a matter of the fact they want Status on this weapon power Glaive because it is probably his best hero that he plays. It's that comfort pick. He can potentially, if he gets to Druid, delete him on the backline. And Micshe during this whole time is just going to be splashing damage, right? So when enough resonance bounces go out, when enough damage is done, a boot active with an afterburn and Twisted Stroke could be just enough to delete that target that was a little bit low. But it does take a lot of synergy, like you're talking about.
You know, it scares me a little bit that in both of these games we've seen the North American teams pick up comfort picks, right, signature picks, and it hasn't been working out so well. We'll see if Rox Armada can finish this one. If it remains a trend, what do you think about Rox then? Like, they can play anything. What are the comfort picks, right?
I mean, any hero that's currently in the game might fall into that comfort pick category, and just you see the range from Baron here, just sieging the turret. Tribe not feeling confident to be able to go in. They do have Gauntlet available. Fountain Crucible are all available. Everything online to see if they go for a fight.
Oh, they find Mango. Good reflex block, though. He is taking a lot of damage. Micshe stuck outside of that Gauntlet. Has to reflex block in, but now he's in a bad spot. He's going to be taking a lot of damage if he's not careful. Yummy Cat and Frenzy is not going to do it, but the Quibble finds the kill. Status returns one, though. He kills Druid. This could be huge for Tribe Gaming and for North America as he looks for more. Engineeus goes down. It's an ace for Tribe Gaming.
I mean, I thought it was certainly going to go the other way. Force the Cord wasn't blocked. A lot of damage being pumped into the center there, but Rox got a little ahead of themselves, chasing in Status with the Afterburn cooldown available, able to go back and delete Druid. We saw the amount of damage able to come out. He does now have a level advantage over Druid for a little bit, but this is going to probably be first turret here with this minion wave. We'll see if Status commits to it. I certainly think he should. Afterburn available to get out of there.
Yeah, the minions with the ace buff. Oh, they don't quite find the turret. I don't think I've ever seen a turret live on that little health before.
There's so little health left. Well, when Mango jumped in and actually did damage, the minion aggro got pulled off the turret, and Status didn't stay long enough to finish it. So, yes, a net gain in terms of the ace, but not as big as it could have been.
Absolutely not. Gold Miner likely to go down very quickly here. You can see Rox Armada find that again. They have, even with that ace from Tribe Gaming, quite a substantial lead in the gold department.
Yeah, I mean, looking at 4,000 gold lead here, it's pretty nice to know that even after you've lost a team fight, you're still sitting nice and pretty up top. We'll have to see if Rox can come up and protect this turret. Tribe looking to just knock it down.
Oh, Mango taking a lot of damage right at the onset of this fight, but Status got to be careful. He does reflex block through that Force the Core, but not enough. Micshe gets annihilated. That is bad news for Tribe Gaming. Is Lightning going to strike twice here? Are they going to find another fight against Rox? So far, Rox is definitely looking like that was just a blip in the radar.
I mean, we talked about how is the Koshka and Finn going to synergize for Rox, and we saw just then Mango's ability to get in, do as much damage as possible, back out, and then go in again and back out, living on such low amount of health. But we do see Gauntlet coming down, E36 trying to make some plays.
Druid is so Druid. Oh, man. E36, if only that Gauntlet managed to connect
just
a bit
did more
there.
damage.
Yeah.
You do take damage when you go through Gauntlet Wall, so even if you're playing Baron, you maximize your jump jets, yes, you can escape the stun, but you still do take the damage.
E36 still wants this. Like, Tribe Gaming is not letting off the gas here. They're saying, Rox, you cannot get out of here. Status! Oh, Druid has the boots activation. You do get a bit. Oh, he's going back in! Come on, stop playing with my emotions. Status is not going to find Druid, though. Druid does get out of there. And actually, you know, Tribe, they're going to have to back away.
Yeah, I mean, this pushing them off actually allowed them to get the other turret from their side, so Tribe does get a little money in their pocket. They are going to get the front treant there. So I like the aggressiveness. E36 saying, you know what, guys, like, we're behind. We have to start making plays. One of the worst things you can do in Vainglory when you're behind is just do nothing. Apathy is just as much an enemy as the opponent across the field, so you have to be willing to make plays, willing to go in. I like the fact that they're having a good time. They're trying to force Rox out of their own jungle, even in the deficit.
So I believe Druid just recently picked up a fourth item here. He is really, really strong right now.
I've seen this build somewhere before.
Has 3, but one of them is an Aegis, right? So his damage is not really that comparable right now. The advantage that he has is that he can do damage from theoretically a more safe position, because actually his bounces, his attacks bounce when he hits something that has his perk on it. They actually do more damage than his basic attacks.
Yeah, they do. I mean, this is important too, because now that Druid is level 12, maxed Ion Cannon, Force to Cord hits.
That Force to Cord was real nice. Micshe, he needs to get out of there. Fountain does buy him some time, but the Ion Cannon coming back down. Polite Company nearly pulled Micshe back into it. Micshe able to get out of there just barely, but Rox has a Kraken to back to if they want to risk it.
But they do have a window to play with here. Tribe knows that they still have most of their major cooldowns available from ability-wise, but they don't have Fountain.
Oh, yep. Mango, look at how far he got pulled in. If Micshe had been healthy and there, and Mango had tried to make that play, that would have gone actually really badly for Rox Armada.
That was pretty risky. I don't feel like Mango would have had vision on Micshe backing up, so just kind of going in for the play. But the Vanguard does make that Yummy Captive Frenzy travel much further than he intended to. But as you said, we now have 4 offensive items on Druid. Infusion still ticking. Most likely going to be looking to pick up a new one when he goes to shop here. Will be level 12 Infusion. Gauntlet available. Fountain almost available for E36 on Tribe Gaming. A big team fight on the way, Jackson. Everything is coming up. Everyone shopped and ready.
Oh, man. Micshe Yeah, Engineeus does find that, but the Gauntlet goes down. Maybe they can look for something here. E36 got to back away. The Ion Cannon, everyone's on top of it. Huge damage coming out of Druid, and Mango wants more. The Silence not going to connect either. Everything being dealt with by Tribe. This time, Mango says, I don't mind getting pulled in. Or does he? He goes down.
Jump jets are up
the court. It only pulls E36, but Druid, he has so much damage right now. Micshe, he needs to just keep on kiting, keep getting the splash damage onto Druid, or just bail completely, because Druid, he's getting his reset. He's attacking in order to jump again. All right, Micshe should be out of here. It's not going to be an ace for Rox Armada, but man, these fights are explosive.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that Tribe is respecting the damage from Baron, but Mango playing a little too forward there. He has to time his damage with also jump jets from Baron, so you kind of get this double burst, double back, double burst kind of strategy coming out of them.
If he'd hit, was Micshe slightly out of range of Fog there? I think he wasn't quite in vision. That was kind of close. I would have been holding my heart as Micshe there, no doubt.
Miko's been playing pretty close to the enemy lines here, not really getting enough time to bounce off of Finn. Like we noticed in the last team fight, Rox actually backing up and spreading out, not letting those resonance bounces go over it. Is Status going to get the steal on this?
He's going to try for it. It could be a very big steal if he gets it, but he does not. Status, he needs to get out of here. Druid doesn't have the damage. Micshe just walks right into the fight. Druid says, okay, I'm going to take you down. Status can't get away either. That is a very, very bad fight for Tribe Gaming. Everything falling apart.
No energy for jump jets quite yet, but will eventually find this kill as he goes over here. We got to see, Gauntlet coming down. Just Gauntlet trying to keep the ace.
For, you know, yeah, for movement.
For movement. Gauntlet for flavor, and the theory of an essence of our tournament here today.
Druid's got it. There we go. That's going to be a very extended ace, and actually, that could be kind of bad for Tribe Gaming, because of the fact that E36 does not spawn for another 35. That's a fountain and a crucible and all these things that you really need if you want a last-ditch effort here. You do not have Rox Armada. Can they just close it out? Micshe takes so much damage. Druid doesn't quite jump quick enough, but he's going to get knocked back into the Sanctuary. He goes down. Status does pick up the kill, but it's not going to be enough. Kraken locking it up here. Rox Armada have won 2 games back-to-back. They are on fire here at the Mobile Masters Vainglory Gauntlet.
Was it enough from Tribe Gaming getting on these comfort picks, trying to outmaneuver the draft strategy? Rox showing that even with Fenn, they can invade, they can apply early game pressure. The Koshka just really offsetting what we would normally think is a bit of a slower game. But this Baron, like, guys, you got to start paying attention to this. Rox is willing to first pick it.
I think a ban on the Baron is at this point pretty necessary, to be honest. Yeah, it's getting to that point. It's very scary.
2 games down, every team watching, trying to figure out what to do. How do we defeat this team? But Tribe definitely well played. The charisma, the confidence, they never backed down. They kept going in. They kept trying to make the plays. The Kraken still, maybe that would have been the key to getting back into the game. They got an ace.
That's good.
They got some kills on the board. But congratulations again to Rox for win number 2. These guys putting more pride and money into their pocket here, so these guys have to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, $3,000 per win, not too shabby, as Rox Armada stands to gain quite a lot as a result. I mean, they're fighting 5 teams. That's $1,500.
That's a good sizable cash prize, yeah.
It's
15,000, yes.
15,000. All right, so up next we're going to have Gangstars. Now, this is a team that was actually in our finals in 2nd place in London recently for the Unified Live Championships for the spring season. They are very strong opponents.
Yeah.
This is definitely someone that Rox Armada, I think, has to be careful about.
I definitely think they do. I mean, but Gangstars at the same time coming in with a little bit of a different lineup than they had previously. Vanes will now be their captain heading into this game, so we'll have to see, do they mesh as well as Rox? Is perhaps the new captain the flavor of the season to really get you going? So I'm excited to see if Gangstars is going to be able to pull it off.
You know, in addition to that, I want to see Gangstars really be the first team to ban away this Baron, right? Because it's just getting out of hand at this point. I think you've got to put Druid on something he's not warmed up on, even. I mean, that reason alone is good enough for me.
I mean, when you have a player taking a late game hero and making him a early to mid game hero, that's something you have to respect. Like, North American teams have not been able to accomplish this, and I think it's taking these guys by surprise. Araki Zoro, definitely a very cerebral player when it comes to draft strategy, so if anybody's paying attention, yeah, and he'll know the potential of the heroes, so we'll have to see if he goes down that path, or perhaps, once again, Gangstars has something up their sleeve.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think we are going to be actually on stage with Maria for an interview.
Status, you guys had a very aggressive strategy. Do you think that was the plan all along?
I think after watching the game with Tempo and Armada, we saw that we prioritized late game heroes. So we just tried picking up early game, like early dive kind of heroes, and just try winning off that.
You guys gave the crowd out here a lot of very exciting moments. I'm not sure if you guys could hear them cheering for you, but is there anything looking back you would have done differently now?
I think the last call to try taking the Kraken was like either win or lose the game. It just depended. Unluckily, we didn't get the Kraken, but I think if we would have gotten that, we would have won the game. But that's just like one regret that I have.
All right, well, you guys put up a really tough fight. Thanks for competing.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Maria. And Status, it was actually, I think, a very strong showing against Rox. It's a tough matchup. They're a very strong opponent, so you got to admire them for being able to pick up like that ace that they did earlier on. That was actually a very nice ace too. It was not, them Rox just making a big mistake or anything. It was a strong performance. So we are going to be going to a highlights package real quick, and we'll be back shortly with more Vainglory Gauntlet action. Mobile Masters Vainglory Gauntlet.